Paul, good win for you on Tuesday night, and then you see the rest of the top 5 have won midweek as well. Whoever goes up, they'll have earned it, won't they?
Yeah, obviously there's no bad wins, but yeah, and it will come down to the smallest of moments. I've said it from the start of the season, everything matters. It might be Joe might make a save in one game that gets us the points that wins, or Tom Barkhausen might score an overhead kick that gets us the 3 points, or a draw that gets us a win, and it's the same at every club. Like we're talking at the moment, if all the teams win their games in hand, there's literally 4 of us with virtually 2 points difference, so with 8 games left. So yeah, it'll come down to the smallest thing, and then it'll be the lottery of the playoffs for those who are lucky enough to be in it. 8
games to go, they're all worth the same amount of points, but because you're playing a side right near you on Saturday, people are going to look at this game and think it's more important.
No way.
Is that how you see it?
Not really. I see it's a game that neither team don't want to lose. I mean, ironically, we'll both be going for it. I'm not saying it like I don't know if you've ever seen any of my teams set up defensively. I don't think I've ever done that. But I just think it's a game that if you lose, it's a bigger blow. When you walk off the field, it's a bigger blow. It felt a bigger blow when we lost at home to Peterborough than we lost at home to Charlton. I mean, both I felt physically sick, obviously. But so it has more, connotations further down the line, the result of this game. The performance doesn't matter a jot. It's about both teams trying to win and get the upper hand. And I've said this in loads of interviews, with 8 games to go, there's still 24 points to go. So even if you lose it and you win 6 of your other games, you might be handsome. So yeah, it's just about preparing the lads as best we can. 3 games in a week. It's been notoriously tough for us, so it's about trying to refresh the lads as best we can and pick the best team to hopefully go out and win.
What's your assessment of Bolton?
Well,
without revealing too much, obviously.
Yes, it's difficult not to be too tactical. I think they're a really well-managed club. I really like Ian. I think he's a really good coach, a really good guy. I mean, I say that about most managers. Maybe I just really like people, but I really like him. I like the way his teams play. I've seen a lot of them. I know they've got a couple of injuries. They've got 2 of their strikers out, although they've still got 2 very formidable strikers to come in. They've got Collins, they got from Bristol Rovers, so wow, and Budvarsson, so they're not weak. And they have a style that they play to, and maybe they've haven't picked up as many points recently. They haven't really lost loads. They just had a few draws that are always awkward, and sometimes you go through that phase. Peterborough went through that phase. We've been through that phase a couple of times. So, and they've put themselves in a really good position. They've had, this is their 3rd season, I think, in League One, if I'm right. So. They've sort of built and improved the team year on year, and everyone at their club, I presume, will be thinking it's their year. So I really like him as a football club. I used to live in town for a bit when I played for Wigan, so I'm really familiar with the area and know that the club has massive expectations, used to be Premier League, used to play in Europe and all that. So I understand all that as well. So with that comes a pressure for the players, not dissimilar to us.
You mentioned the injury issues that they've had. You've still got some, but had injury problems as well. You made a quadruple change on Tuesday, which was...
I listened to your commentary. Very strange, I think.
Well,
did you say very strange, unique?
We don't see it very often, I think you would agree. My question really was, you weren't in a position to do that many weeks ago, were you? How different has the dynamic been for you in terms of managing the squad now that you've started to get some players back?
Yeah, it's easier and harder in equal measure. Like, obviously, if you have 18 players who believe they should start the game, is obviously harder than having 12 and 6 who are just enjoying the ride. So, however, from a manager's point of view, like if I want to change 3 or 4 for Saturday, and I think it's the right thing to do, I don't think it makes us weak. I just think it makes us different. So it does give you options. It does give you. I mean, I really want to get Tomo on the pitch midweek, and in the end, I was going to leave Sibbs, put Tomo in the middle of the pitch for some energy. So he's the only sub that didn't get on, apart from the keepers. But respectfully, they don't count. Good coaching. You can put that on my coaching gravestone. So you just want to get players on the pitch. You want to rest players, but you don't want to do that if you know, you don't think the player behind you is as good as the player in front of you, if that makes sense. So having a strong squad is like imperative to success. And I've said it all along, if we're successful, if you play 20 minutes or 25 games or 45 games, every contribution matters. So you just want your best players fit. Like, you know, Waggy's getting a little bit more like it. We've got Wash training today, which is a right boost for us. So yeah, we feel like we're sort of getting there. Unfortunately, you know, the season might end too soon for a few, but hopefully Colo will come back. Ryan Nyambe won't. So yeah, so I've never known a season like it in my career, player, coach, manager, where we've been blighted with so many injuries. But we're fortunate that we've got a pretty good squad that gives us a chance.